Howdy folks, and welcome to another episode of Stanley and Seeking. Today, we'll be getting some requests to put muzzle threads on one of these Alcor barrels. So I thought, well, let's do a quick video, shock while we do it. So this is a barrel from an Alcor-223, and it's got this fancy dancy front sight on there. It's crazy elevation, all this great stuff, but it's definitely in the way to thread this. And since I'm probably going to grab it in a shock forge or collet, it's actually straight from, a good section of this before the taper begins. So you can use a collet, which would be ideal. Anyway, we got to get this thing off. Definitely not going to take off the barrel extension because that's going to be crucial and integral part of the head spacing. So you don't want to touch that at all. This thing here, gas blocky thing, is pinned on. So I don't want to touch that either because there's going to be alignment issues and all sorts. So I'm just going to leave that be. So ideally, I'm just going to be able to slide this thing in this way and grab it like that, and then have an exposed bit there to cut my threads. So let's talk about how to take this off. So there's a little screw, a little baby screw in the front there. It's made in Turkey. Turkey's a metric country. So 2.5 millimeters, and brought this guy out because I see these wrecked all the time in the back machine shop. It could be tight, right? So what do? We stick this thing in here, wiggle it in, and we're going to just start reefing on this, and you can see how much flexion is in, especially such a small little narrow extension there, right? You're going to end up twisting this. It's going to look like a candy cane, and it's going to wreck this thing and induce weaknesses. So that's why you get this nice little short bit. So we're going to put that in there, turn it off, loosen it. Now that it's loose, loosey-goosey, now we can stick this in if we want, and just kind of twist it in our fingers and whatnot. And we're not going to risk damaging it. But definitely if you're going to do some sort of high torque or questionable torque activities, use the shortest end possible. So once we get to here, this front sight now is nice and loose. You can move it back and forth for your windage elevation, I guess. And you can do this at home too, the same way. You'd loosen this little set screw off, and then you adjust your windage and then pin it back if you needed to. So yeah, let's just knock this out, wiggle them out. Or I guess we could use a big monster hammer. Why not? Wiggling's probably better. There we go. So I'm seeing here, some sort of contrast in my background. It's just a standard taper sight, nothing exciting there. Then under here, we've got 2 flathead screws there and there. It's going to hold this little kind of bracket to the barrel. So this leads me to the concept of the right size screwdriver. So, you can see us at home or in a rush. We say, oh, here's a screwdriver. Fantastic. It's a flathead. Flathead's flathead. Let's just mash this thing in there and go for it, right? Well, no dice. Too big. What about this guy? Here's one that looks like some apprentice or something in the back has made some sort of creative artistic expression on this screwdriver, grinding it on an interesting angle that's not even the same on either side. So it's not even like you tried to make a tapered blade. You just was trying to show off and screw it up. So that means we have absolutely no idea how thick this is. It's going to be different from here to here, here to here, or a tactical pointing Allen key thing here. So this probably would fit. Right? Is it going to fit in there? Oh yeah, we're getting some feeling. Like it's a quick little twist. It's kind of biting on the top, but it wants to pop out so easily. So depending on how tight these screws are, we don't want to do this, right? Because this is a great way to strip it or mar those top edges and damage those nice straight cuts in that slotted surface there. So okay, well, let's grab this one. This is looking smaller, right? It's about the right width, but it's still too wide. And then same with this, right? These two here, I'll show you side by side comparison. They are pretty much exactly the same, but they're not. This guy is slightly thicker, like fatter this way, and versus this one. So trying to be gentle and identifying what's going on here. If I come into my screw, get my my slotted head in there, and then I try to turn it, like this driver, just nice fingertip pressure, right? It has immediate tendency to jump out. So is that a good option to take the screw out? You know what? Probably not. Like, I guess if I push some sort of like crazy downward pressure to try to lock that in, we can see that this has got like a big tapered cut. So like it's substantially wider here than it is here. So maybe we're getting just the first couple of thou in there biting into that screw. So this is the classic issue you see come into the shop where a screw has got the head, it's all marred, it's all ugly, and it's stripped, it looks like crap, and it's really hard to get good bite on it because, well, it's someone used the wrong size screwdriver. Super close, but Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, right, folks? Certainly does not work in the realm of, you wouldn't try that with a Robinson screw or a Phillips screw, right? You're not going to ram, a Robinson 2 into a Robinson 3 screw and try to unscrew it and hope for the best. You're going to wreck it, right? So this one here happens to be an expensive name brand, but it doesn't need to be. But what we're seeing here, it's been used, it's been bent, whatever. But the width of this is both this way and this way is appropriate for these screws. So when I put this in the hole, right, and I start giving it fingertip torque kind of thing, like nothing crazy hard at this point, it's locked in there. Like it does not want to come out. It is in there. So that means I'm still going to give a bit of downward pressure, but I can just turn it and it's going to come right out. And I know that I'm not going to damage this screw head at all by doing that. So there's a nice little screw popped out. And then here's the other one now. Same thing. I'm going to just check it. Who knows? The screws might be different. It's in there good. So I'm going to just give her a good twist now, break it free. And once this comes off, there we go. Front sight pace is off. We can see down these holes. We got a little bit of green spooge stuff, but this is probably some sort of blue Loctite or who knows what kind of Loctite from Turkey on there. But yeah, now we got that off. We got a nice, I might run a file over that to make sure there's no burrs. And I'll probably grip it, I don't know, about from here to here with a collet. A collet will extend past, but the gripping portion will be about from there to there and giving me about an inch overhang. And I'll cut back. This guy wants half 28 threads cut into here. So I'll probably give him about 600 thou from the muzzle face to the back shoulder there. Turn this down and do my threads, and it'll be nice and simple. Straight being nice collet, simple collet, CNC done in half hour or so. A little bit of setup here and there, but not super risky in terms of getting the threads straight or wiggled or whatever, because the CNC is going to be pretty good. Alternatively, I could, if this was some sort of match grade firearm or whatever, right? We'd want to put up a pin in the bore and indicate off of that, and then have a spider in the forejaw. Then you can position the barrel. So that way when we cut the threads, we'll do a little bit of a turn off this diameter anyway to reduce the size of here, but I'll be able to make sure that the ID of the bore is the same as the OD of the barrel, and they're perfectly concentric then if I put a pin in here and indicate it. So with the pin and the spider, I'll be able to decide, I could measure, have the barrel literally in the machine on an angle like this, and at some point it would measure perfectly round, right? And that's not helping me at all because it's still way out. When I go to machine it, it's causing lots of issues here. So by putting a nice long pin in there, I'll be able to indicate off the pin on 2 or 3 spots and make sure that the barrel is indeed true this way. And then by using that pin as well, I don't care about the OD. I just care about the concentricity with the ID. And once I indicate that, it's perfect. Then I can do my turning ops, threading ops, and this muzzle brake can have a nice tight bore on there and not have to worry about any sort of projectile strikes. But that's going to be obviously a much more time-consuming activity. But for this here, this fella just wants it's a flash hider on there, so just down very quick, get her done. All right, that's all I got for you. Thanks. So like Grandma said, your beard doesn't make you wise, but it does hide your confusion.